Welcome back, everyone. I'm sitting here with Christopher Almy, who is the district attorney for Penobscot and Piscataquis counties, so both of those jurisdictions under your purview.
Correct.
And we wanted to talk about something that we've certainly talked about off and on for some time now, and that is the backlog of criminal cases within our court system. It is kind of an ongoing issue, and just to start the conversation, let's talk about sort of the status of that backlog. How bad is it still? Has there been any improvement?
Well, we are still in a backlog, and I think it's going to take 2 or 3 years to really clear it up. And then there's a number of factors for it. One of them is COVID. You might think, well, COVID's over, but it's really not, because of the cases that developed during that time period are still pending. That's one of the problems. And also there's been an uptick in crime, especially in the area of illegal drugs, and that's been a problem.
So, perfect segue to my next question, which was, what are the factors continuing to fuel this issue? So you mentioned, COVID-related issues, and then just an uptick in crime and the need, and criminal cases. But what else is at play here?
Well, I think make sure people understand it's just not people who sell drugs and use drugs. It's those who steal to get money to buy drugs. That's one of the problems. But in addition to that, there is an issue of the number of people available to man the courts. We don't have enough judges, clerks, but people wonder, well, you've got a lot of courtrooms over in that new courthouse. Well, that's true, but you cannot open a courtroom unless you have security for that courtroom, and it's hard to find security marshals.
Okay. So there are layers to this issue that folks aren't even aware of. It's not just about a lot of crime and maybe there aren't enough lawyers or judges, but it's literally foundational staff. Okay.
And then I think it bleeds into this is that there is a overload of cases for the prosecutors to handle, so there aren't really enough prosecutors. And I think the newest issue has been this problem of finding defense lawyers to represent people. When somebody is accused of a crime, and there's a potential they're going to go to jail, they're entitled to a lawyer. And if they can't afford one, they're entitled to have the court pay for it, the public pay for it. And there's just a shortage of lawyers doing those cases. So that is a problem.
All right. Talk about sort of the ripple effect on the judicial system when you have this backlog and all of these mitigating factors.
Well, what happens is that you have all these backlogs, and so you have repeat hearings on the same case because, well, the lawyers aren't available, there's not enough time, and it just sort of compounds itself. Now, the courts have tried their best to speed the process up, but there's only just so much they can do, especially when they don't have enough people to man the courts, as I've indicated.
And just a final question, because we always want to know about solutions. How do we move this issue forward? How do we, help contribute to a solution? What are the solutions here?
Well, I think funding is certainly going to be a problem and an issue, and I don't know how willing the governor or the legislature is to address this. I think sometimes their focus is elsewhere, and I understand that. There are a lot of compelling issues in this state, but if you're going to address this issue of a backlog in the courts, there's got to be attention from Augusta about the amount of money needed.
Okay. Well, we're going to stop it there for now. We thank you so much for your time and your insight. This is certainly something that we'll continue to follow, so I'm sure we'll be speaking again.
All right. Glad to do it.
Folks, stay with us. Our extended forecast is coming.